Well, let's get it started. First up, star Michael Malarky. The lovely Candice Accola. One half of all of our new favorite ships, Somerhalder. Executive producer, Pleck. Wesley. Executive producer Caroline Drees. And last, but by no means least, Kat Graham. Guys, give it up for the cast of the Vampire Diaries.
Are we allowed to sit?
Everyone, please.
Just waiting for the ladies to arrive.
It must be very early. It's extremely quiet in here.
I love it. Paul, let me go to you. I'm curious, back when Vampire Diaries actually featured diaries, did you ever envision that 6 years later you would be surrounded by 5,000 of your closest fans in the biggest Comic-Con ballroom there is?
Wait, what does this have to do with diaries?
Use your own diaries, it's fine, we can move on.
I just feel like when I want to hear the fans go wild, I just need to say 2 words. Jared and Jensen. They're coming up. What was your question?
What does it mean to see all of these people here for the show that you guys worked so hard for?
No, honestly, guys, it's amazing. This is the first time in Hall H. I can't see the end of the room. I'm slightly intimidated.
Because you're drunk.
I am also drunk. I haven't slept. It means a lot. I know you guys woke up early, and I can speak on behalf of all of us. We really appreciate it, and we love you guys. So.
Thank you.
Julia, it's been a very long journey you've all been on in Hall H. Is it in any way bittersweet that, someone is missing who helped put the show on the map?
Yeah, of course it's...
Who?
No, of course, no. Jesus. And, okay, of course it's bittersweet. We miss Nina. She's been with us for 6 years. We miss Kevin. He's been with us for all that time, too. And both are back home in LA, and hopefully sending us good love from home.
Absolutely. The Sleeping Curse, I think, was a really interesting way to sort of tie up that storyline. As a storyteller, what excites you about the opportunities afforded to you by having her sort of gone but not forgotten?
Well, what's nice about it is there's still like a really intense core of romance, almost like in a fairy tale way attached to it. Damon, has put the love of his life away. And now he's got to figure out how he's...
She's just taking a little nap.
60, 70 years.
Yeah, what's 67 years for a vampire? I'll go by like that.
By the way, I have no problem playing a 17-year-old in my mid-60s. If I'm pulling it off at 32, guys, What do you think?
You don't look a day over 40, Paul. You don't look a day over 40, buddy.
That's what they tell me.
So, I'm curious, Caroline, with Bonnie and Elena sort of linked now, does the lovely Kat Graham have the best job security on this death-prone show?
Bonnie dies like every season, so yeah, it's like 9 lives. I'm not sure, we're probably at 6 maybe now, 5 or 6.
So yeah, she's got at least 3 seasons left in her.
I like it. Kat, what was your reaction when you found out how Bonnie would play into the Sleeping Beauty curse for Elena?
It's very interesting because I've known that Nina was leaving for a long time, but I thought it was a really clever way to kind of keep Elena there and keep her presence there and keep the door open in a lot of ways for her to be able to come back. But it also created an interesting dynamic going into season 7 for Bonnie and Damon and them to have to deal with the fact that, Bonnie's alive and Elena's not, and it's kind of on Bonnie to stay alive.
But it felt super earned, you know, by having Damon and Bonnie in the 90s together for so long. It was such a rich relationship by the time we got to the finale. I mean, for both of you, what did you like about how that relationship sort of flourished last season?
That was actually, I don't know, that was my favorite stuff that we've ever done.
Yes.
I think the beginning of season 6 for Bonnie and Damon was the best stuff ever. What do you think? It was a lot of fun and it was very dynamic, and these two people, you know, it's funny because they hate each other, they love each other, they resent each other, they're stuck together. It's sort of an amazing recipe for a lot of cool drama.
Yeah.
But Kat and I love to work together because we work together with the same coach in the same way, and we have a lot of really good fun.
Yeah, one of my favorite episodes was the episode that Ian directed, and it was actually the first time that I'd ever been in a scene where the director is also the actor. So we had some really cool stuff, and I'm excited that Ian, you're directing again in season 7, right? Is that the plan?
Well, yeah, hopefully.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to do it again.
I don't know, but yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was really great for us to shoot some scenes together, and definitely when I got to come back, it was great that one of my first scenes was definitely with Ian. It was great.
Julie, talk a little bit about sort of Damon post Elena's Sleeping Beauty curse. I mean, is he a monk now, or do you just like put that energy?
My ass.
You just put that energy into sort of different areas of that character.
I'm waiting for Ian to make an inappropriate joke about putting energy.
Just wait for it.
Yeah, no, I mean, the challenge for Damon is obviously, Elena said to him, please live your life and be who you are. And yet we know who Damon is. So I think for him it's, who am I without this girl right by my side? Because she's the center. She's the one that grounds me and makes me want to make the right decision and walk the straight line. So for him, the line's going to get a little crooked, you know, and he's going to kind of probably hopscotch over it, because I know he loves
Hopscotch.
So he'll, you know, the struggle will be good. It's we get to see a lot of naughty Damon trying to not be naughty.
I love hopscotch.
Ian, I mean, in some ways, it's sort of like you're playing a new Damon this year. That has to be exciting.
Actually, au contraire, mon frère.
It's actually the exact.
It's actually the opposite. It's the old Damon. The Damon that we really fell in love with. And that's the goal. It's that, you know, let's bring that back, that energy, that sexy, volatile, fun, scary, dangerous. All that that made you guys love him to begin with, I'm bringing it back.
Caroline, as writers, what excites you guys about getting back to the root of Damon?
Well, it's interesting, you know, we've seen Damon pining for Catherine for 145 years, and then he was pining for Elena, you know, seasons 2 through 6. So it's fun for us as writers to think, who is Damon Salvatore when he's, you know, not pining after a girl, when he has this girl? And so, you know, it was interesting, like, I was just talking to Ian the other day, like, what does Damon do in his spare time? Like, what does he do when he's alone? And
Still waiting for Ian and Paul.
what else does he do when he's alone? So,
A lot of stuff.
So I think it's fun for writers to kind of get to dig a little deeper into the character,
Yeah.
and figure out, like, you know, what makes him tick. And we're gonna see a lot of romance between Stefan and Damon, and see how the dynamic works now that their mom is kind of becoming part of Mystic Falls.
Absolutely. As sort of Elena moved into a crypt, as you were, there was the rising of another relationship on the Vampire Diaries. One that goes by the name of Steroline.
By the way, can we
Doesn't it
change
sound-
that name, by the way,
No, I was
guys?
gonna say, doesn't it
Tell me
sound so
something
clean?
Tell me
We're
something
actually
in a
gonna make a
hospital.
hand sanitizer called
Yeah.
Steroline.
Yeah, we're gonna trademark it and sell it at Hall H.
Paul, can you guys come up with a different name, though?
Dude, you're like, what, Delana? Like, that's any better?
At least it doesn't sound like it's in a hospital.
Delana sounds like it could potentially be a disease. Steroline sounds like the cure for the disease.
Wow, that was actually good and witty.
Well, I just put it right now.
I'm
Is that like
impressed.
on the spot?
Yeah, it was
That's really good.
Like,
That's
thought
really
of this
good.
last night.
Where you want to stand up thinking about what you're going to say.
Paul, for a lot of fans, this relationship has been a long time coming. What excites you about seeing it come to fruition?
I just love making Candice feel awkward on set. Candice is married. I'm friends with her husband. I love when we have to do makeout scenes because it's so uncomfortable and so funny. And, but we love each other. Don't we love each other? Don't you love me? Don't you just love me?
So much.
Yeah. Yeah. What do I no, honestly, it's if I'm gonna answer the question sincerely, I personally, my opinion is, I do like the fact that there is so much history between these two characters. It obviously was very platonic. There was that little kind of, those little moments, those VP moments where you sort of zoom in on the eyes and there's something going on. It could happen between anyone. I feel like Ian and I have had those moments. But, you know, it's been yeah, right? There's a couple of stories. That's what I'm talking about.
No, I am my brother's keeper.
Based on that. Why go across the street when you go across the hall? So,
I taught him that one, by the way.
in more ways than one. What are we doing here? Anyway, I really like Steroline. What do you think, Candice?
Well, after that, no, in all seriousness, I love a good slow-burning relationship in a television series, and you get to watch build, and I really like the characters together, so I'm excited to see what happens in season 7, the few scripts that we have read. I'm really excited for you guys to see, and I don't want to say anything else because otherwise I'll get in trouble for spoilers, but...
That's okay. Well, before we look ahead, I want to keep talking, Candice, about Caroline this season when she turned her humanity off, because that was one of my absolute favorite things that has ever been on the Vampire Diaries, hands down. That arc, watching you go from the devastation to the complete ripping people's throats out to like falling against Stefan against soda machines and making out, like it was all wonderful. What did
If you want to ever try something really disturbing, put a lot of fake blood in your mouth and have to make out with someone else. It definitely, I'm glad it all worked out on television, but that was definitely an awkward day at work.
I mean, over the years, you've taken her to such different extremes, you know, from human to vampire and now to this. What excited you about what you got to play through that humanity-free version of this character this year?
It was really fun. You know, it was such a tragic storyline, and I kind of knew and was clued in that Sheriff Forbes was going to pass the season and how it was going to happen, and I thought it was just such a human, obstacle that these characters hadn't really faced, and there was no supernatural spell that could break the fact that she had cancer, and I thought that was really powerful. So from all that grief and all that sadness to just go from, heartless badass Caroline, I thought was really, really fun and a really cool change for the character.
Don't you love the fact that Caroline's murdered and done all these crazy and now she's gonna be probably planning a dance in episode 8. She's gonna be coordinating.
She's a multitasker.
It's really amazing.
It's a lot done at all times.
Sociopathic murder.
Julie, when we look ahead for this couple, what can you sort of tease about what lies in store for them in season 7?
A lot of very unexpected twists and turns, actually. What the fun of this couple is that they're just coming together. They're just getting really cemented in the romantic status. And so, as we left it off, you had sort of said, I will be here when you're ready. And so she's trying really, 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 really hard not to be ready. But
she can't resist.
Shirtless stuff every episode.
Do you guys want more shirtless scenes from Steph? This is a formal request.
That was season 1 when I was a youngster. Times have changed.
Well, in the show's grand tradition of semi-dysfunctional relationships, it would be remiss if I didn't talk about Enzo and Lily and whatever is happening there. Michael.
Are you gonna bone our mom? Let's just get it on the
Morning, everyone.
She'd be Enzo's first. That was a joke. That's not my character. research coming out. Carry on.
Enzo definitely got to sort of be a part of a lot of the action this year in terms of propelling the story forward with Lily and what she brought to Mystic Falls. What excites you about sort of his role in all of that?
More screen time. I'm playing. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. I love the fact that there's a really kind of succinct dilemma for Enzo this season, which is about choosing his allegiance. And, you know, does he go with Lily and the Heretics, or does he go with Damon, or hang out with his chick, you know? And I think it's a very clear struggle for him, and it's going to be interesting to see where it goes.
Absolutely. I'm going to open it up to fan questions in a minute, because I know you guys have a lot of them, so I think there's a line there and a mic there. But before I do that, Julie and Caroline, working off what he just said, what can you sort of tease about the Heretics in season 7 and sort of what the fans in this room can expect when the show comes back?
Well, the challenge for the writers, season 7, is constantly topping the villain from the previous year, and we thought Kai was one of the best villains we've ever had on the show. And so we were thinking, you know, how do we do that? And so by bringing in Lily's family, it's these 6 villains who can do magic, and they're vampires, and it's the first time we ever see our characters try, you know, to go up against them and just kind of react and be like, oh, like, we don't know what we're doing, like, this is very, very hard. So I think it's going to be really kind of exciting and gruesome and violent when we start, but the real mystery will be, how did Mystic Falls get to be the way we saw it at the end of season 6, which is run down and you know, all polluted and boarded up. So
There's some really great new characters. 3 women, especially Valerie, who we have just cast this weekend and will announce as soon as her deal closes, and then a new couple, Nora and Mary Louise, who have been together for what, about 120 years, I think. So it's going to be fun. They're nasty, nasty, nasty girls, but they're going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, let's turn it over to you guys. I've talked plenty. Well, we're going to go our first fan question right over here.
Hello.
Hi. Khaleesi. Yeah, that's me.
What's your question?
My question's for Ian.
Uh-oh. It's a big room. Be nice to me, guys.
Will you marry me?
She's the mother of dragons, Ian.
I don't think I can. I'm a happily married man.
You can almost work for Utah.
But, Paul, we're no longer married. Who? But I'm sure if you asked anyone else, they'd be all over it. Have an amazing, amazing con.
Thank you so much. Next question.
Great question, by the way.
Hi.
Hi. I have a question for Ian. If season 6 Damon could give season 1 Damon advice, what would it be?
Never change. Well, this guy makes a lot of bad decisions all the time. And I think after being 174 years old, you would probably think to start thinking before you act and do things, which he doesn't, which is why we kind of love the guy. So if season 6 Damon could actually talk to season 1 Damon, I think season 6 Damon would say, hey man, remind me how I used to be, and take me back to that place.
So never change.
Never change.
Awesome, thank you. Next question.
Hi, my name is Catherine. I'm nicer than Catherine.
Prove it.
I just look nice. Okay, so my question is for the 2 hottest brothers. How did you capture the mentality of a 17-year-old teenager or a 24-year-old young adult when you're actually
Old?
Only just 15 years.
I mean, I don't like to, I can't really speak subjectively, but I can speak objectively in looking at Ian that he has the mentality of a 12-year-old, so of the challenge was playing a 17-year-old, the maturity. He had to actually learn how to mature.
Absolutely.
And I think you did an okay job. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Some of the smartest people in the world are 12, Paul. Listen, we were fortunate enough to be able to play these characters. Stefan had the earnest capabilities, the beauty, like the beautiful, soft side of a 17-year-old, but also too the same type of angst and confusion. And Damon was, so it's like Arrested Development. Damon was 23. You know, not the TV show, guys. Arrested Development, as in meaning his development was stopped at 23. But he didn't learn that much. It was very cool, actually, being able to play these guys. But the reality of it is that, look, we still act like kids, and we will forever act like kids. And the day any of us stop acting like kids, it is no bueno.
And guys, they make some really, I mean, we live in 2015, and there's some great moisturizers out there. And
2 words, sunblock.
Daily.
It's a great question, though, actually. Thank you.
It is a good question. Thank you. Sorry for being an idiot.
And if you guys love that, click to the left to find out what the TVD cast told me definitely has to happen this season, you know, season 7. Or click to the right to find out like at least 20 things that are definitely happening next season on the originals.